you think? What socks should I buy? What socks should I buy? What socks? Apple? Is that Google? I think he says buy Google sock. Today's video is going to be about why do recessions occur? Because a lot of people are always worried about recessions. In fact, recessions oftentimes are a big topic on YouTube, even during times of prosperity. People are always saying, oh, is this going to be the year that there's a recession, or next year, or year? But guess what? We're now in a recession. So what the most important thing, well, some people,
Great Depression,
it's either a recession or a depression. But actually a lot of people that I know, they oftentimes are wondering, they always oftentimes wonder, why do we have recessions? Shouldn't there always be prosperity? But the truth is, during the time periods when things are good, there's a lot of excess. People borrow too much money, they make bad investments, and a lot of these bad investments and far too much debt, it's not really apparent that these are bad ideas until the recession comes.
You need to keep the gravy train
going. Because yeah, in good times you borrow more money, you build another hotel, and doesn't look like it's the problem because people are staying there. Or you're an Airbnb.
There's always a greater fool to buy from.
Yeah, there's oftentimes a greater fool
right before the top.
And that's true with Airbnb. We saw a lot of, we didn't even realize how fragile an investment strategy this was, to either use multiple mortgages or multiple leases, where you just get a whole bunch of apartments and then put them on Airbnb. And it sounded great. You're like, oh, I don't even own these apartments and I'm making profits on all of them. Well, you could have a black swan event where nobody wants to stay at Airbnb anymore, and it proves that it's a terrible investment strategy.
That's the house that they filmed Monk at.
Oh, okay, I can see
Look
that.
at that. Anyone recognize that?
You guys recognize
watch, the show Monk? I think I had that.
Oftentimes the dumbest investment ideas don't look really dumb until the recession comes, and then people start becoming very smart and realizing, that doesn't make sense on a financial basis.
Look at this house. I never noticed this. It's like a impressive feng shui staircase.
That is a good point.
Chris would really appreciate this. These flowers.
Good point. So, getting back on our topic, a lot of things actually during the good times, there are things like Bitcoin at $20,000 per Bitcoin. Some people actually were still buying $20,000 Bitcoins, and they thought it might go to 100,000. I even saw people talking about how it would reach 1 million. But now you kind of start to get a sense of why did that happen. They just thought, well, maybe I can convince some more fools to buy it because they wanted to sell it at a higher price, obviously. But as soon as there's a little bit of fear, it's like a cascading effect. Like when you see it going from 20,000 to 19,000, doesn't it cause a little fear? Like, is it going to go down more? And then when it's at 19,000, they're like, uh-oh, maybe it reached 18. And so
where's your mask?
I don't need a mask. So the issue is, during recessionary times and during bear markets, people become extremely fearful, and anything can cause people to want to sell. What do you think about that? Do you think of that reminds me of another thing on the internet. People always want to know, is this a bull market or a bear market? So what stocks should I buy? And the truth is, if you're that kind of person, you probably should not buy any stock, because if you're relying on other people to tell you what to buy, you probably want it a little bit too simple. And maybe a stock is good to buy, but they won't tell you when to sell it. So what is your idea about that? For people who say, what stock should I buy?
Just play with some fake money first. Get a virtual account and try trading and see how you do. So you learn the system.
That actually is a very smart idea. I actually recommend that. I think a lot of people they should actually do a test go at it to see if it actually makes sense, if they're actually making money at it. If you're not making money with the virtual money, then of course you should consider quitting, obviously. But
It's extremely easy to make a ton of money with virtual accounts though, because you don't have margin
oh, yeah.
margin calls.
That's very true.
Because you can easily, I know exactly what you could buy,
Oh,
but you might get margin called, so
yeah,
it would
true.
actually hurt your investment, so it wouldn't work.
oh, but
in real
here
life.
there is a criticism of the using the virtual money though. Is the one of the biggest criticism is that there's no emotion involved, because you can make all these kind of decisions and you don't care because it's not real money. So yeah, that's going to result in you investing very differently than you would if it was your own money. People always say that the results are quite different. We need to social distance, so we're gonna move around a little bit. But yeah, I think one of the problems is that when it comes down to finance, people do want someone else to do the work for them, which is interesting because in general you don't have that kind of you don't really expect that kind of thing in other parts of your life. You don't expect someone to do your work for you or to accomplish all the things you accomplish in life. But when it comes down to something really important, hey, what do you think? What socks should I buy? What socks should I buy? What socks? Apple? Is that Google? I think he says buy Google stock. Pets.com? How about pets.com? He said buy pets.com, but they don't exist. It doesn't exist anymore. There is no pets.com. So anyway, the problem that exists is that people really want people to do their work for them, and that doesn't work in finance. You actually have to use your brain every day.
Look at that, they have some slogans there.
Be brave, be kind, be true. You know, I've never been a big fan of these kind of fortune cookie sayings. You see it all the time on Facebook, like be creative, be brave, yeah, but these people are not usually brave or creative. They're just copying someone else's stuff. So don't really care about these kind of phrases because it doesn't help anything. Nope, look, someone's package is there. They're just leaving things around.
Well, there's not that many people here, fortunately.
I guess the package thieves, they're on a break. They're ordered to stay indoors. When it comes down to finance, you have to ignore all opinions. Don't go on Twitter. Don't listen to what people say about particular stocks, because what their opinion is, it doesn't really matter. If stocks are going up, doesn't matter. If people are saying it's gonna crash, it doesn't really matter what people think. What matters is what's actually happening in the market.
Oh, did Michael hear that from Jim Rogers?
No, that's actually William O'Neill said that your opinion doesn't matter, and that's absolutely true. Don't listen to anyone. That's why I'm not here to hawk any particular stock or tell you to buy Bitcoin or stuff like that, because the truth is you need to independently look at this stuff and make your own conclusion, because that's the only way you're gonna make it out in the stock market.
How do they know what they're looking at? If they never looked at stocks before and they look at a stock, they're gonna say, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, that's the thing that they actually need help with, is how to look at it just on an abstract basis. What am I looking at? Where's the good buy point for particular things? And I think that's something that people should look into. Also, it's best to buy stocks in the very earliest part of an uptrend as possible, because it does seem that nowadays when these uptrends start, they push everything to the moon, and then you feel kind of lame buying because it's really high by that point in time, and then it doesn't really give you a good entry point.
Well, William O'Neill says to buy high, sell higher.
Yeah, but a lot of his ideas were from a different era where different institutional buyers were.
It's almost like the algorithms, they are programmed to push it to the breakout, and then they're like then they stop buying.
Yeah,
then they sell.
That's definitely very true nowadays. That's one reason why I noticed that a lot of people are not very focused on long term with stocks. I see most people seem like they're day traders on the internet. They're like, yeah, buy it, sell here. So there's not a lot of long term focus, because it's hard to think long term when there's a lot of uncertainty and lack of clarity, and the stocks certainly don't give clear signals about where things are headed in the long term basis sometimes. So any last words for our subscribers? Any comments?
Be safe, be kind, and wear your masks.
Well, just continue to focus on the markets, study up, analyze what's going on.
Don't do what I do what I say.
No, you should focus on what. Never ask what someone thinks about stock. Ask what's in their portfolio. That will give you a better idea of what they honestly believe. So, man, there are a lot of dogs out tonight. There's another dog trying to promote pets.com. I'll let him have the final word on what stocks to buy. What stocks do I buy? Should I buy Amazon? Amazon stock? Google? Google? What about Google? Should I buy Google? Amazon? All right. Don't think he had an opinion. So that's it. Signing off. Just and stay awesome.